Because of my interest in medical matters and medical communication and arts and health, I go to a number of conferences. I met Justine Schneider at an arts and health conference, and she was talking about a play that she'd been part of producing, which was about dementia, and we got talking about creating artistic work out of original research materials.
So I'm really committed to communicating our research findings in formats that people find accessible. And I think theatre is by far the best way to represent the complexities of human experience and human life. And in the case of people with dementia, to show all the moral dilemmas and all of the fantastic, profound issues around identity and existence that dementia raises for us in the 21st century.
I met Pameli Benham, and she'd had experience already playing characters with dementia. And in fact, everybody, all of the team, had experience with people in their families who had dementia.
I suppose principally I hope that carers who come to see it will feel valued and acknowledged because they do something really difficult for very little financial reward and often for very little encouragement.
Well, I saw Sarah Moody in a show, and I just could see that her work was wonderful and she enhanced our show.
I'm using a loop box to loop up the different layers of cello, and I've got a few things recorded on my other loop box, which is stuff that I've written before, just to speed up the process because we only had 2 days.
I met Angie Belcher, the comedian.
The audience for Silver Linings Care Plan is going to be an audience of carers, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to be reflecting their vocation back to them, which puts an awful lot of pressure on you as an actor.
And I also wanted to work with Chris Pirrie, the puppeteer.
Puppetry brings many possibilities. On one level, it can allow the audience's imaginations to run riot. It certainly gives the theatre makers, the storytellers, some additional language that is only limited by their imaginations.
In the first place, there was the intention to bring a level of absurdity into the play. I wanted to do something which was between Ken Loach and Kafka, and Justine and I felt that that was quite an interesting route to go down. And she sent me some care worker diaries, which I found extremely moving and funny and witty and sad. And I immediately saw a story coming out of those care worker diaries. I did a lot of research about dementia. Then I did a lot of reading about organoids, about neuroscience, and in fact that led to questions about humanness and what actually is a human. That's what the brain brings the play, really, as a set of new questions about what human rights are and what humanness is.
What is the brain? How does it work? How do we get to our version of humanity from these little pink bits of things in a Petri dish?
This woman who has dementia and knows that she has was a highly skilled medical person and is trying to encourage a new brain into growth.
Then I started to pull together texts from the care diaries which I thought were relevant, and we started to improvise around those. And then at the end of that phase we presented the play as it was to an audience of carers. It was really valuable to realise that it was something that was working about what we were doing. There still needed to be lots of changes made, but something was certainly working there. We had a 4-day rehearsal period whereby we took another new draft of the script to an audience of arts and health professionals, clinicians, carers and artists. There were a lot of design ideas that needed to come together and a lot of musical ideas, so I didn't mind that there wasn't decisions made about these things. It felt like we were presenting something quite fresh and new. Caring is a big problem in our society. So I think to ask the questions, who is caring, what is care, what is necessary to make that process easy or nice for the people who have to do it, I think they're really good questions.
And these are people who never see their working lives on stage or even at the cinema, or much less on television. I think it's a really interesting topic to be examining through theatre.